All right, so protecting Windows from viruses and spyware and malware and all other sorts of wonderful things. And luckily, all those things are things that we have to deal with on computers that are connected to the internet. It's just part of the game, all right? And people are going to always try to access your computer if there's something on there that is of value, all right? Now, a value could be your pictures, your videos, it could be your banking documents, passwords, or even just the hardware itself, being able to use that for their own purposes. All right. So there's always going to be value on your computer. It's just a matter of what that actually qualifies as. Now, there are some things, some basic things that we can do for protecting our computer. And the first is going to be user account controls. All right. So what I have open over here on the screen now is my user account controls. Um, Yes, it is a hassle, but it is something that is worth keeping on. All right. If you notice, there are 4 different sections to this. So at the very top is always notify. All right. Basically, if any little change tries to happen, it's going to let you know about it. This is supposedly more like what Windows Vista, I believe it was, that where this first debuted, was. So every little change, it was like, hey, hey, we're making a change. Hey, we're making a change. Really annoying. All right. Notify me. This is kind of the recommended. This is kind of like the default, from my understanding. And it's really not too bad. Yes, those stupid pop-ups do still happen, but it's better than it was. All right, and this is there to protect your computer from those viruses and things like that. So probably worth keeping installed. Next, we have the Do Not Dim option. All right, so I don't like this option because when it pops up, sometimes you don't realize it's going to pop up, or it has popped up. You're just like, why has it stalled? Until you start kind of searching for the problem. Then at that point, you might realize, oh, okay, this was the issue. So really don't suggest that one. And the never notify section all the way at the bottom. All right, anything that tries to make a change, your computer's like, well, your user has those capabilities, so go ahead and do it. All right, so that means if you're installing software that you don't realize is not trustworthy, it's going to install all that crap that goes along with it. So really, it is best practice. Leave it alone. Don't touch user account controls. For those who are just hearing about this for the first time, good. Just forget about it. It's that little stupid window that pops up. Just deal with it, and everything will be fine. Next is be paranoid. All right. Yeah, someone's probably out to get you. All right. Yeah, and you may be like me, and you're like, well, who's gonna come after me? Like, I'm an average Joe. I make X amount of dollars a year. I'm nothing fancy. I don't have any, any crazy interests or this, that, or the other thing. There's nothing super special about me. Just because of that, it might make you a great target for somebody because they're like, well, average Joe, they can't defend against this. Maybe they don't know how to defend against this. Might be the best person to go after. All right. So you should be paranoid about this. And it's easy. It's very easy to access someone's work computer after hours, right? Again, you've probably seen many videos or YouTube videos or whatever where someone just walks into an office and sits down and starts acting like they know how to do something on a movie or TV show or something. Man, it looks so simple. And unluckily, it's the world we live in. If you look like you belong there, very few people are going to actually say anything to you unless they know better. If you don't look like they're going to like you belong there, then people are going to start kind of giving you the side eye and be like, what are they doing? Who are they? Why? What's going on? All right. So it's very easy to access someone's computer that you don't, that you don't know or who doesn't know you. But as long as you look like you know what you're doing, probably very few people are going to actually say something. Especially when you get to those corporate environments where the building is secure, right? The only way to get in is past the security desk, and it's kind of the culture of that company is once you're in, everyone just assumes that you're supposed to be there, type of thing. And if someone sneaks through security somehow, all of a sudden, they have full access to the building, and no one's going to say anything to them. If you're really interested, look up some YouTube videos or something on penetration testing. There's some really interesting stuff out there about getting into buildings that you're not supposed to, and all this other fun stuff. And it sounds like a really fun job to be a penetration tester, to have a company hire you to go in and be like, okay, your job is to get into our company and access X, Y, and Z, and go, okay, let's see if I can do that without getting caught, type of thing. Next, keep to yourself. All right, the more data you put online about yourself, the more information there is for hackers and other nefarious means. All right, we live in an age where Facebook and MySpace, I know MySpace way back when, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, all those other fun, all those different websites. You want to put your information out there, so you want to share it with your friends and your family and people and those types of things. And you're going to trust those people? Yeah, okay, well, yeah. Hopefully, the people that you have friended on Facebook, you can trust. All right. However, if you don't have your profile set correctly, all of a sudden people that you know is now everybody on the internet because you didn't set your security up correctly. And the fact that you said, look at our new dog that we just adopted, and they go back 6 years, they find that, and they go, well, maybe their new dog's name is their password to something. All right. So your dog's name is Jose or Frank or something. Well, now they have a little bit of insight into your life and what passwords you might use for something. All right. I have a little article here on CNN Business about a hacker who was asked to try to steal a tech reporter's data. And this is all about social engineering. All right. Now, you may not think that, oh, I've posted anything important. All right. You may just think, I just posted that I bought a couch off of, from this company, or that I stated this article, or I traditionally fly, you took a picture of yourself waiting at the desk at the, airport, and you're at whatever airline. Well, they can use that information for nefarious purposes. And this talks about how this lady, if I can remember her, Rachel Toback, all right, white hat hacker, and social engineering. So she took this reporter's information and she went through his Twitter feed and found out that he bought a soap from this company. And she called the company up, said, hey, I'm looking to buy another soap. Just want to make sure you have my right address information on file. And they just willingly give her the guy's address, phone number, those types of things. And then she takes that information and calls the airline up and say, hey, my name's this, need to transfer my points to some other person. Oh, by the way, can you also change my seat to the middle seat on the airplane? I'm doing an article about that. And all of a sudden, this guy's out all these points, and his airplane seat for 5 hours is going to be crappy. And, and he didn't post anything specific. It wasn't like, hey, here's where I live, or here's this. No, it's just little bits of information that just add up and up and up and up, and all of a sudden they take over and win. So you do need to be kind of careful about that. So be careful about what you post and all the other wonderful information. Next, you do want to test your firewall. Now, our textbook does have a chapter in chapter 33. There's some information about how to test your firewall. So highly suggest you guys go read through that and read about it. Take advantage of firewalls in your router too. So basically, Windows Defender is built into all Windows computers now, and that is some anti-spyware, anti-malware, anti-virus, firewall, all that, kind of security stuff built into one little program from Windows. Just overall really nice that they now include that. It used to be you had to have X separate stuff on top of your Windows computer to have that capability. Nowadays, not so much the case. Windows at least comes with it. It may not be the best stuff in the world, but at least comes with it. So that is a big win. But on top of outside of Windows, you can have other firewalls. Basically all all residential routers, like network routers that you buy that has the Wi-Fi access point and everything else like that built into it for ease of access for you, so you can get connected to the internet when you're at your home and not use your cell phone's mobile data plan. Has a firewall in it. You can actually buy other routers that go on top of that as another layer of penetration. So there's all sorts of hardware that you can add on top of the firewall to protect yourself. Next, another precaution you can take is update. And we all think about updates on Windows because, well, Windows does it for you automatically, right? It just says, hey, you have an update, here you go. Especially Windows 10, it's kind of forcing it down your throat saying, hey, there's updates, you're getting it. We'll restart at 3 a.m. for you. Like, no big deal, we're just going to do it. But when you don't, the whole point of updates is to close security holes. That is the main reason we are updating software and things like that, is because there are holes in those software that is going to cause problems. All right. So we want to have updates. Now, you don't want to just update your Windows computer. You want to update your router's firmware. You want to update your everything. You have if you have Wi-Fi enabled devices, printers, cameras, TVs, those types of things, all of those need to be updated because those are all potential vulnerabilities onto your network. And once you're on your network, then they can start accessing your computers. So they've already kind of made it around your first firewall if they're on your network. So not only do you have to update Windows, you have to update anything on your network that has updates. And that's very easy for it to do, especially when it comes to your router. Like, it just sits in the closet and it works. I don't even think about it, right? Well, it is a device that is protecting you from the internet. So make sure you update everything that you can. Maybe make it a yearly ritual that you go around your house and you research devices, you see if they have updates for them, and if they do, you go ahead and update them. And the reason we have to update, or the reason that updates are so important, is because once these vulnerabilities become public, hackers will then take those old vulnerabilities that are known and go, okay, are any of these still open? And they will start searching and scanning and trying to access all of these things. And that is when they will be able to go, oh, this so-and-so never fixed this vulnerability. Let's get it onto their computer. And now they have access to your computer. So especially when things become public. Google has a process. They actually have some white hat hackers that are trying to access, their research, doing research and testing purposes and things like that. And basically, Google only gives companies, I think it's 90 days. Google security flaw system. Anyway, they only give companies so many days before they just release the flaw to the public. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, overall, they just release that flaw to the public because that is one way they are going to force the companies to actually update their products and fix it. Because, if Google does give the company a chance, they go, hey, here's a security issue, and that company goes, okay, we'll fix it. And then if Google never does anything about it, that company may never actually be forced to fix it because, well, fixing security flaws is not a cost-saving measure for them. It actually costs them money. They have to pay programmers to go find specifically what the problem is and how can they fix it. So, big problem there. So, updates be good. Beware of attachments. All right, that is probably one of the biggest ways that people get crap installed on their computers is attachments. All right, you get an email from somebody, you don't know who it is, but you're like, oh, there's a Word document. Let me read what the Word document is. Well, that Word document is infected with some malware. When you open it, it runs the program, and now you have whatever crap on your computer. All right, attachments are probably one of the biggest ways that these issues get actually onto your computer themselves. All right. Also, assume the worst. Assume something bad is going to happen to you. All right, you're gonna have problems. It's not a perfect world we live in. Someone's gonna hack into your computer. Sorry, come on a sec. And it's gonna wreak havoc with your data. So have one of these bad boys. Little external hard drive. I have a little Western Digital My Passport. I believe this is 1.5 terabytes of storage data, and that is enough for my most important documents. All right. My pictures, things like that I can never get back, right? If someone steals all my pictures or encrypts my hard drive and I don't want to pay them the whatever crazy amount of money they're asking for, this is my backup. This is I can reinstall Windows. That'll take me maybe a whole day to do, to reinstall Windows, reinstall my programs, get all my settings back how I like to do it. It's not the end of the world to me. My computer crashes, oh well. If I lose my data, my important information, my pictures, my music, I could get that back, right? My videos, I could get back somehow, some way. If I had to buy a DVD again, you have to buy a DVD again. That's, you buy the ones you care about. You don't care about all the ones you don't have. Those types of things. But those important documents, maybe tax-related stuff, all other fun things, have a backup for. Even better, have a backup that you don't leave plugged into your computer, all right? I am not the best at this, but have a backup that you don't leave plugged into your computer because, man, if someone, hacks into your computer and encrypts all the hard drives on your computer and this is plugged in, well, there goes all that data. Also, if someone breaks into your house and steals your computer, there goes all your data, right? Because this is just sitting on top. They're like, oh, that's a nice little hard drive. Just put that in my pocket. This might even go before the computer goes because it's such a small device, fits in their pocket, easy for them to make disappear, where your computer with all the wires and things plugged in might be a bigger problem for you. So have a backup. Also, house burns down. There goes your data. Now, obviously, just having your house burn down, if this is in your drawer or whatever, not going to solve that problem. Fireproof safe, or even better, off-site. All right. Talk with your neighbor or friends or whoever and trade hard drives. Basically say, okay, here's my hard drive. I'm going to, hey, can I get that back from you next time I see you? I'm going to back my data up again. And have them bring it home to you, have them back it up, and within a week, give it back to them. All right. So off-site data storage is even better. Those types of things. So also keep all your email correspondence you can because that will maybe help trace problems or things like that. Keep your receipts for documenting whatever purposes. And read the fine print. All right. I know legalese and all of these license agreements stinks. Read the fine print. Someone once told me, and I don't actually know if I believe this, but that Bill Gates had in the original Windows license agreement, or one of them was basically Bill Gates could come to your house and take any one item he wants. All right. It was supposedly in the license agreement. I don't actually believe that, But it's just something there that could have been, and it's like, well, if you don't read it, he could come take your car or whatever it is that you want, and you agreed to it by you installed his and agreed to that software. So something to take into advantage. All right, so that's some basic precautions. Next video is going to be about a whole bunch of different types of malware.